your host, Keith Andrew, and welcome to episode 347. Again, I am Keith Andrew, and I am here with the talented and beautiful Trisha Graybill, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, absolutely. The honor's all mine. Now, for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I'm still able to amount to something, and at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But let me rephrase that. I lost my train of thought. The whole point of my show is to show people that even with, this is what happens when you don't do your interviews like on an everyday basis.
Yeah, that's okay.
So basically, let me just try and do that again. The whole point of my show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something, and at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove people wrong. That labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and you should prove to them you can break the labels. I don't say it on an everyday basis, so when I go and say for my interview, I kind of butcher it because I don't. It's not a normal thing to say on an everyday basis. So still in the works. Maybe one day I would change to something else. But half hour, 45 minutes every time. You can say anything you want, curse if you want to, uncensored, freedom of speech. Freedom of self-expression. You can get up, walk around. You can drink something if you want to. And just make it more real. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I just wanted to say that one of the things that, that I like about you and what you're doing, and I can connect with you, is the fact that you won't let a quote-unquote disability pigeonhole you or hold you back. And that is one of the huge, things that I like to, advocate. And I'm just, every day, every single person in this world, no matter who you are, what you're dealing with, you have a choice when you wake up. And that choice is how you want to live just that day. Because I'm all about, energy and just being in the present moment. And every day, if you wake up and you're so thankful for the roof over your head, or the fact that you're alive, you have the choice, and you can just keep moving forward and don't let anything get in the way. And just like I was diagnosed, with stage 3B lung cancer, and I'm not a smoker. I never wanted that to define me, and I refused to. I'm not done living. There's so much I want to do in this world, and there's, I'm still improving me, and there's things I want to do, there's things I want to see, and I'm not going to let this dis-ease, hold me back from anything. So that's my choice every day. And because I was diagnosed, I want people to know that, I don't want to just focus on cancer, because I think it applies to anything and everything, that you have the choice how you want to live your life. And do you want to listen to these statistics for whatever it is? A learning disability, you can still do stuff. And I love that you're making something, with what you do, and you make the best of the situation, no matter what you're going through. And that's where I just can connect with you and just appreciate you and what you're offering the world. And, we're these beings, these light beings, and these energy, and we're just inspiring other people. And I just think it's really amazing. So I guess to do my backstory, I'm an actress, whatever you want to say. I am a host. I co-wrote a book. I want to inspire people. I want to be a healer. I believe I am a healer, and I'm going to start taking, I want to become a Reiki master. So this summer, I'm going to start taking Reiki classes and learn how to do all that, because right now pretty much I'm just spending all my money on the different healing aspects. I go to Brazil every year, and I keep going off on this tangent, but I started in the entertainment industry when I was a little kid. I was 8 years old. I was going to New York City every day. I was a Ford model. I did a lot of commercial print. I would take half days of school. And then when I got into high school, I wanted to be a cheerleader, and I was, wanted to hang out with my friends. So I, left the industry and just led a quote unquote normal life. And then I went to college and I got a degree in finance. And I appreciate everything that I've experienced. And then in 2006, I was sitting in my cube at work and I was like, this isn't what I want to do. So I got back into the entertainment industry in Philly because I couldn't quite leave my full-time job. You have bills to pay. So I like the steady income coming in. So I did that, and I'm still a full-time in finance, but my passion is acting, and I'm just, this disease has opened my eyes to doing so much more. I kind of was wondering for many years, like, what is my purpose in life? In 1997, I was in a near-fatal car accident. I was in a coma. I was on life support. I was like a fraction away of being a paraplegic, brain dead. I am lucky to be here. So there were some times where I would go through, like, why did I survive a coma? And then in 2014, I was reading a book, and it really opened my eyes and showed me that, people who survive comas, it's because your purpose here on life, in this plane hasn't been fulfilled. And I'm just like, wow. And then a few months later, after I was reading that, I got diagnosed with stage 3B lung cancer. And I am not a smoker. So I have a mutated gene, the HER2 gene. And what's, this whole going through all this diagnosis, it's really shown me just how special I am. Because I was diagnosed with stage 3B lung cancer, being a HER2 patient, or having a HER2 mutated gene, and that's mainly in breast cancer patients. Less than 2% in the world get diagnosed with the lung cancer. And I was that lucky, fortunate 2% that got the lung cancer. It was on my top right lung, and then in some lymph nodes, in my neck area, and then in my chest. So I had 37 treatments of radiation and 3 chemo treatments. Never lost my hair and never got sick. And I attribute that to, I started to meditate. Like right when I was diagnosed, I've always wanted to meditate. I would watch my brother. He has muscular dystrophy and just the strongest person I know. And I would watch him meditate, and I would just kind of feel like, oh, that takes too much time. But then after I was diagnosed, I was like, okay, it's shit or get off the pot type of deal. So I was like, I'm going to learn how to meditate. And it's an amazing feeling because there's so many times where I'm there for other people and I would think like, oh, instead of, sitting, I'm going to go clean or do something like that. But then when I was diagnosed, I was like, all right, no, this is my time. I'm going to focus on myself and better myself. So when you just sit and meditate, there's people like, oh, your mind wanders. But that's okay. As soon as you recognize that your mind's wandering, you're bringing awareness to that and you just get back to your breath. That's like a beginning meditation. It's so easy and it's very rewarding at the end of however long you sit, just giving yourself that time to stop. And like the world is so crazy, so fast paced. I mean, like with all of these different, the phones, the iPads, the Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, like there's so much going on that just to sit down and give yourself some time to yourself is such an amazing feeling. So because of all that, and I changed my eating habits, I eat pretty clean, organic, not completely organic because that gets expensive. So I do a lot of, vegetables and fruit, organic. I'm not too much of a meat eater. I do a lot of vegetables and fruit, some pastas. So I do that, and like I said, I never got sick, never lost my hair, and then I had some clear scans for a while, for about 1.5 years, and then I was having back pain, and I went and got a scan, and it metastasized to my left pelvic area and some lymph nodes on my left side. So the right side is completely clear. Didn't go back to the lung. just as in my pelvic and my L5 on my spine. And then I had 3 treatments of chemo, and then it was clear. And then so I was like, I'm done with treatment, because I do complementary medicine. Like, I use the chemo and the radiation. I don't have radiation anymore, but the chemo to get it out of my body. And then the meditation and the energy healing and all of that to, focus on the deeper issues. And because I believe that cancer is in everybody. It just doesn't come out and when it comes out. And stress is a huge factor in that. And it's just not, you can get anything. It's not just cancer, but it's, when you're not in tune with your body and you're stressed and you're in like a bad situation, and, these things bring out diseases in your body. And yeah, so it metastasized to my pelvic, and then it was clear, and so I stopped treatment, but then it came back. And so now I don't even know how many treatments I had, maybe 9, 10. And I have it once every 3 weeks. And I just had a scan today. I don't know the results, but I had so much fun at my CT scan. When I was done, I was laughing and everything. And they're like, can you imagine if this girl, if you took her to an amusement park? Like, who has fun at a CAT scan? I did. Because one of the things this morning, I was talking with somebody, and she's like, joy. Anytime you can have joy, you're going to be healthy. And I'm still living my life. I'm not, like, I never was like, why me? I'm like, all right, I was diagnosed with cancer. I'm going to face it, and I'm going to beat it. And I'm just going to keep living my life. Now, there are times where, you get hard on yourself, because we're human. That's what people do. And you have to get back in touch with, it's okay. And just when you have that bad moment, it helps you appreciate all the good moments so much more. And I just gave you a whole bunch of information. I don't know if you have any questions. You want me to keep talking? Because I can go on and on and on.
Well, this is your time after all, so whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, no, so I'm dealing with that, and I know, like, there's past trauma, there's divorce, and there's failed relationships, and I appreciate every single one because it's led me to where I am today. I am blessed to have been diagnosed with cancer. It has opened my eyes and changed the way I look at things and changed how I am and it's just making me a better person. And that's why I appreciate any relationship that didn't last. And it's sometimes that in the moment it's hard to get over, but there's somebody better out there for you. And like, I have a few friends right now that are just in these stuck relationships, and I'm like, just move on. And I know it's easier said than done, but if it's not working, life is too short. Why not be happy? Why can't we be happy every single day? That is what we should, that's what everybody should be. We should just joy, happiness. And I said this in a Facebook live video today that I did. Someone recently told me, and I haven't read the whole article, but they summed it up, and there's like 2 moments. It's like either it's a fuck yeah or a fuck no. And if so you're doing something or you're in a relationship and it's a fuck yeah, then it's like stay in it. If you get asked to do something and you have this fuck yeah mentality and feeling, you want it, then do it. But if it's fuck no, then no. Like, why? And so I'm just all about living every day to the fullest and just having that energy and the vibe, and it just, so much good stuff comes to you. So because of all this, I auditioned to be a host and producer for mynewphilly.com. I am the organic living host and producer, and I help people live their life more naturally. So I go to places in Philly, different restaurants, different, like a nail salon, places that are organic or natural. And I do I do recipes, I help people. I want people to know that you have the power. The power is within you to overcome anything that you're faced with. And I just really want to use acting, as a way to get my message out there. And yeah, I just want to inspire people and make people feel good. And and just send love to everybody. And it's, the Beatles said it best. All you need is love. And it's really, that's all you need.
No, absolutely. And I agree with, I don't know if that was like a dog or something, but.
It was going in and out a little bit, but.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But let's say you have this glow around you that you look, like you can accomplish anything, and you're full of energy, and you should never have people set labels on you.
Right.
But the one thing I do want to do is take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you some more hard-hitting questions about life growing up, and how did he get to this point.
Okay.
A message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shout-outs, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre, buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
I'm so bored.
Want to see something really cool?
Yeah!
Now you'll never be bored again with Loot Crate, a totally bodacious mystery box packed with awesome toys, radical games, and other surprises. And the best part is, you can get Loot Crate delivered right to your door. So don't delay. Ask your parents and order today.
Everything okay in there? Yeah, everything great. I love Loot Crate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 347. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is Trisha Graybill. I'm here with Trisha Graybill. And I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you. I'm having a good time.
No, the honor is all mine. And like I said, anything can happen live. Now, I'm going to ask you some easy questions, and then in a couple minutes, I'm going to pass the show over to you. And you can ask me anything you want. And like I said, supporting the cause, making a new friend out of it. And the first question I was going to ask you, when you went to college, were you a study nerd or party animal? And did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids?
So, to be honest, I never really wanted to go to college. I'm not a studier. I don't like tests. I'm very hands-on. But I chose to go to school because I felt like it was something that I needed to do in life and wanted to experience. So I'm originally from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I went to Pittsburgh, and so the University of Pittsburgh. So I figured that was far enough away from home so I could get the experience of not living with my parents and, being away from home and really being on my own and finding, meeting new people. I mean, I love meeting new people. And it was a big enough university where I saw a new person every single day. So I didn't party too much in college. I did go to parties, but I didn't party too much. I partied more in high school. I don't know. I was pretty open with my parents. And so I feel like I partied more in high school, that when I got to college, I wasn't like, whoa, I don't have parents, I can go do whatever I want. I just, I was very smart. Like, I didn't want anything to happen to me and, I don't know, just anything bad to happen, at any parties or, get taken advantage of. So, I partied, a good amount, but I was never, hungover or anything like that. I was pretty responsible. I was an average student. There was this one time, it was a pretty scary story. So I went to a party across, when I was living off campus, went to a party across the street with a girlfriend of mine. I had roommates, but they weren't around. So with a girlfriend of mine, we went to this party, and the cops came there, and they were pretty much, everybody leave or you'll get in trouble. So we left, and we went back to my place, unlocked the front door. It was late, like drinking a little bit, so we wanted to get something to eat. So we went into my kitchen, and I noticed the back window was open. And I was like, that's not, there was a feeling inside me, something's not right. So I didn't even grab a knife or anything, went into the hall bathroom, which was the only bathroom we had, looked in the shower, looked in the closet, nobody was in there. Then I went into my roommate's bedroom, looked in there under her bed, in the closet, nothing, no one was there. My girlfriend then, at this time, was at the front of the apartment. And then I went into my room, and I shared the room with a girl. And I got down on all fours. I looked under her bed, and then I looked in my closet first. Nothing was there. I looked under her bed, and then looked under my bed. And I didn't have anything under my bed. And then I saw, like, sneakers, and then, like, white skin, khaki shorts, and a shirt. And I was like, got up, ran to the front, pushed my friend out of the way, and I looked back, and the guy was running out of my apartment, out the back door. And then the cops came in. They didn't catch him that night, but apparently there was a guy that would either be he'd be under girls' beds or in their closets, and he never took anything. Like, all my jewelry was out, there was no money missing, so it was one of those, like, what was he there for? And then my parents called the landlord, and the bars were put on our windows the next day, and so nobody could sneak in. But that was such a frightful experience that, I'll never forget it. But, so that was, like, my lasting memory, I guess. And I did, in college, that's where I met my husband, ex-husband. He went to a neighboring school, but he's from Philadelphia, and that's where we met. And then, 10 years later, we got a divorce. But, so those are, like, two big memories from college. And then you said the human pyramid. Is that what you said, human pyramid?
Yes.
So what is that, just a pyramid? Like, I was a cheerleader in high school, but I didn't cheer in college, and I never did a human pyramid in college.
Well, would you be interested in doing one, or?
A human pyramid? With him? I mean, I'm always up for anything.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like, how you just people, like...
Basically, you get a group and number of people. They climb on top in the shape of a pyramid.
Right.
And you just hold it, and the longer you hold it, the more of a record you set.
Oh, wow. Well, so what's the record so far?
Japan had 105 people, and I don't know, basically I want to do my own, so it's like a pyramid group, so as hangout. So you're basically just hanging out, you're having fun, and you're doing different pyramids.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a good time.
Well, if you're interested, I'd love to have you part of it.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing I was going to ask you mentioned you had the creep in your room, and then you had a knife in your hand. How come you didn't just... I
didn't grab a knife or anything, and I was in my kitchen. That's what I said was so weird. Like, I had nothing to protect me. And it was just this, I don't know. Like, that's why when I saw him, I ran out in the front of my house, and I got the cops because they were there and came back in, but at that time, he had already left my house.
Now, say, reverse the situation, if you were protected, would you have approached the person?
Would I have hurt them?
Yeah.
No, not at all. If he was in a position, like, if he would have attacked me, I would have defended myself. But I'm not a violent person. But I'm just saying, like, that's one thing, like, I didn't grab anything to protect myself. It was just, I was in a kitchen. There was clearly stuff to grab, or, it was just, I don't know. You know what? No one's ever asked me that question. After how many times I've told this story, no one has ever said, well, if you would have grabbed the knife, what would you have done? Yeah, no one's ever asked me that. But I know I wouldn't have. It was just, I would have protected myself if he was coming after me. I mean, he was in my place,
No, absolutely, and that brings up my second question I was going to ask you. I've already second on the Second Amendment, but the deal with crazy people, you kind of have to go to the next level of craziness. You could have said, they pulled a guy out, throw him on the floor, and it's like, let's put a smile on that face. And it just acts so crazy. And the guy, as what you'd say, he's like, you gotta get up and run away, and he will know, don't go back to that crazy, I'm a crazy person.
Right.
But, it sounds funny, doesn't it? But, it's basically, and that brings up my next point about the Second Amendment. I'm not really a violent person either. But I do support the Second Amendment, the rights to bear arms and everything.
Right.
And as I said in my first episode, and as I said in my 347, thanks to you, is I support killing. And what I say there, I support killing only in self-defense. If someone broke into your house, if someone was threatening you or your loved ones, if it was a life or death situation, in that point, I support killing. And that guy, if we were married and a guy broke into my house, I would kill the prick where he stood. Without question. Because one, that's your property. Two, your wife is in danger. And three, you're protecting your loved ones. So you have every right to protect yourself in any means if someone invades your privacy and puts you in danger.
Right.
I know that doesn't sound PG, but or politically correct. But I'm just saying
that's where you stand, and that's great. Yeah, I think everybody has a right to protect themselves.
No, absolutely. What's your opinion on that?
Right, and I think they should do some type of better testing and screening, and for people to get their hands on guns and weapons and stuff. But there are.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Go ahead.
It's funny you should mention that because that's the other thing I always said, where you have to do the background checks. If you're a criminal, if you're a felony, if you're a pedophile, a murderer, a rapist, whatever labels, handicapped, mentally disturbed, retarded, whatever labels you have, if you have that, you should be on a list of being, that's it, no guns for you. And it's kind of like, the problem is, people have money, and they think they can do whatever they want because that's throw money in your direction. But we need, like you said, better background checks, keeping some people on a leash, and just saying if you have, use me for an example. I'm handicapped, mentally disturbed, and people label me as retarded. But
Can I interrupt, and can you tell me about I don't know, your diagnosis or your I don't know what you call it,
All right. Well, one thing about this, quick thing about the subject is basically if you're on labels, you should be on the list. Now, to answer your question, is basically at a young age I was labeled, mentally challenged, mentally disturbed, learning disabled, retarded, reads at a 5th grade level. I'm socially awkward. I have poor people skills, not deliberately, but I do rub people the wrong way. It's just, I don't know, I like to have fun with people, but unfortunately, I don't know when, I was like, okay, you're gonna have fun, and you just flip the switch. But for me, I always have the switch on. So it's, I don't know, I have ADD, HD, I'm a little OCD, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying to people, and I have no filter, by the way. That's why, you mentioned one thing and I jumped
have a filter, so.
So basically, I'm just saying that look at what I'm able to accomplish. Because people like to label things. Like I said, people should be on a list. And you can use me for an example. Hey, Keith, we saw that you're handicapped or you're meant to be disturbed and you have a learning disability. You're going to be on the ban, or anyone with disabilities or be on a ban about not having rights to have guns. Okay, I support that, because if you give a nut job a gun, then you're expecting them to use it. But if you're gonna have a gun, but you don't, I'm trying to find what's the expression? If you have a gun, you gotta use it, but if you don't have a gun, you're not going to use it, or something like that. The point is that if people are disturbed, they should, period, not have rights to the Second Amendment.
Right.
Anyway, moving on to a happier subject. It's just basically, for me, I was just labeled with all these different things, and I do stupid things on an everyday basis, but I'm showing people what I can do and I can accomplish. I know a lot of people out there has got to get nuts because it's like, oh, you're attacking the Second Amendment. No, I'm not. I support the Second Amendment, but I'm saying there should be rules. If you're handicapped, if you're, I know, a racist fanatic, if you're a rapist, whatever out there,
right,
you should be on a list, period. And it makes it easier to control people. I'm not saying that I don't want to live in a communist country,
yeah,
but if you're nuts, then cut it off. It's like, no offense, with the cancer. Cut it off at the head before you let it get out of control.
Right. And that's like, so that's where I say with a lot of the treatment, I am doing, traditional medicine and chemo, but I'm doing a lot more with energy healing and the Reiki and, meditating and going to these healing centers. Oh, wow. That was an interesting noise.
Oh, yeah, I live, was on, I wouldn't say cul-de-sac. Some guy has a motorcycle up the road, and he constantly thinks it's funny to burn rubber at a certain time. I don't know, I guess he has a need for speed.
Yeah. So I'm trying to, let go of stress and worry and all that stuff that I think is the root cause. And just know that I'm okay who I am, and as soon as someone's happy with themselves, and you don't have to try and please, or nobody should change themselves for anybody else. Everybody's only responsible for themselves. You can't change anybody. And I know a lot of times it's when you get into an argument with somebody, it's a lot of times they're reflecting, and you could be doing it too. And, when you take a step back and realize, okay, is this really happening, or is this a story I'm creating in my head? A lot of times you create stories in your own head, if you get mad with somebody or anything. And that to me, that's I've opened my eyes to that and see that. And now I accept people for who they are. And, you can't change them. You can't expect them to be any certain way. And yeah, I don't know, you can just accept people for who they are. However they show you, that's who they are. And I just want people to be happy with themselves. And yeah.
No, absolutely. Now it's the last 7 minutes left of the show. I'm going to pass this to you. Was there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote? This is your time, after all.
I am on Instagram as Trisha Graybill, TrishaGrayb, as in boy, ILL. On Facebook, I do have a fan page. It's, Facebook and then the / or / whatever slash that is. It's T Graybill, my last name, the number 4. And then on Twitter, I'm Trisha Graybill. I guess that's all the whatever, all those sites. And you can find me also. I am, like I said, I'm the host and producer of Organic Living on mynewphilly.com. It's a video-based news platform, and we only focus on positive news. So I don't watch the news because it's negative. So when I had this opportunity and got the opportunity to be the host and producer, I took it because it's good, it's uplifting, it's positive, and everybody I work with is positive. And I actually had a meeting today, and we're going to start doing some stuff and really showing people again, how to better themselves and just to make people so much more happy. If so many more people would be happy, this world would be so much better. There's so many weird things going on, and just want people to be happy.
Well, I do have a couple questions for you off the air.
I have one more thing. I did co-write a book called The Healing Journey. And if anybody's interested in that, it's a really good, quick, easy read. It's kind of one of those books that you can put down and pick up and just open on the page and just read a couple pages, and it's really for everything. It talks about my healing back in 2014, but it really can apply to anybody's life, not just cancer. And that, like I said, is The Healing Journey. And all you have to do is email me, and I can mail a copy. And my email address is tgraybill, GRAYBILL, 4, @gmail.com.
No, absolutely. I would definitely get a copy from you. And
Great.
I was also wondering, would you be interested in doing like an audio book, or is it just like one of those Kindle books?
Right now we're just selling it, individually. We didn't put it on Amazon or anything like that. I would be open to doing audio. I'm working on a couple movies, independent movies right now. So I'm open for anything that can help get the word out and just, like I said, help inspire people.
No, absolutely. And like I said, I do have some good ideas for you after the show. About wrapping up, how I usually end up my show is going on the record. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after being a guest on the show, how do you feel now?
My first reaction was honored. Like I said, it was a way to get my voice out there, and I'm in agreement with the message that you want to send. That there's no labels, there's no limitations. You have the power, and that's just, it aligned with everything that I stand for. So I was honored to have do the talk show with you, and my reaction after doing the talk show with you is the same. I had a great time. I talked a lot, I felt, but it was easy, and it's just good energy that you have, and just inspiring people is just what I want to do, and I'm blessed to have had this opportunity to touch your fan base, and just for both of us to expand our fan bases and get out there and inspire the world.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up our show, I do have some ideas for you after we done with the segment. Wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege to do the interview with you, and I'm looking forward to building a friendship with you as well, and looking forward to part 2.
Yes, great. Thank you, everybody.